Well, welcome to NFL PrimeTime, Week 18, first one of 2026. Let us be the last to wish everybody a Happy New Year. Somehow you knew that was coming. Chris Berman, Booger McFarland, have a good New Year's. We kept it low-key.
New Year's was good. The resolutions have been set, and now it's time to separate the pretenders from the contenders for the playoffs.
Well, they're going to say the resolutions are set, and then in 4 days they're gone already, right? In our house, sometimes that happens. You know what? It was decision Sunday and so many things. Nothing has been more bizarre than the ending scenario. I mean, in a different season than the NFC South. Your old division.
Yeah.
Nothing has been more bizarre. Where they play Saturday, and then the two other teams play Sunday to decide the fate of the Saturday teams. And when all was said and done, the entire division was 3-3 against each other. All right, digest that, all right, while you digest the last drop of eggnog. And here we go, in case you missed it a little bit Saturday, at the soggy new sombrero. They thought Carolina against Tampa Bay, winner take all, no matter what the record is, you're going to win the division. Remember, the Bucs have won this every year through 2021. So, Baker Mayfield and Cade Otton and the Bucs in the pouring rain of Tampa, they look like the team that have been there before with a big early lead. And then, Bryce Young. He's a joker, he's a smoker, he's the midnight coker. Jalen Coker from Holy Cross. I've been waiting all year to get it in. Panthers cut it to 16-14 with a big third down. That was Mayfield to Cade Otton. Tampa wins the game against Bryce Young. And so they think, well, then maybe they think they're both 8-9. We won. We would win a two-way tiebreaker. But no, as you know by now, then what? In an amazing scenario, the Atlanta Falcons had a chance to be a tri-champ of the division, even though they had no playoff hopes. If they could finish 8-9 by beating who else? Division foe, the New Orleans Saints. It gets stranger and stranger. Here we go for the division, except Baker Mayfield, rooting for Tyler Shuck, same number, Saints. Bryce Young, rooting for Cousins. Atlanta, if they win, Carolina's in. If the Saints win, Baker's in. Kirk Cousins intercepted. Carl Granderson. But then, Jamie Robinson, a special teams ace all year for Atlanta, blocks the punt by the Saints. Felipe Ballpark Franks recovers it, and whee! Can you do that?
No, I can't. Really good job by Felipe Franks, former quarterback, now tight end.
Blocked punt, so Cousins goes. The Werewolves of London, Drake London, touchdown, 7-0 Falcons. Baker watching it at home.
Didn't like that.
10-0 Saints trailing, but Tyler Shuck. Hey, things warming up in the Baker household. Saints trail 10-7. Now it's 13-7 Atlanta, late third. Shuck to Swiss Army knife, Taysom Hill. First down. Saints, here they come. No, I mean Bucs. Here they come. Shuck to Kevin Austin Jr., but he's wide open, but pass interference on Pettis, really?
Yeah, kind of a ticky-tack call. I understand what he sees, but he really gets ran into. I don't like the call.
No, Baker, how do you think he liked the call?
He's moved from the couch to the kitchen.
You got to be kidding me. Not pleased at all. So forget the touchdown. They do get a field goal, but now they're down 16-10 until Shuck. Big game. 29 yards. Here come the Bucs. Saints. Then 3.5 to go. Shuck. Oh, no. The Falcons. They intercept. D offers. ABCD alters the division. So offer. And look, in Charlotte, thrilled. We're rooting for our division foe. Falcons get field goal 19-10. So two-score game. Shuck. Pettis. 26 yards. Here come the Saints. Now $1:18 to go. Saints. Shuck. Ronnie, you can ring my bell. One-handed catch, great footwork.
Outstanding footwork. What a throw by Tyler Shuck, who's earned his starting job next year, I think.
And now in Tampa, they're fired up. Can they get the onside kick? You got to Chuck E. Cheese tells me it's a 4 to 5% play, and they do not get it. It's only about 2 or 3 hour drive from Charlotte down to Atlanta. Tickets available. And they went in, and Raheem Morris and the Falcons end up tri-champ, all three champs, if you will, 8-9. But the Falcon result and the win means that Carolina Panthers at 8-9. They are the team that will get a home game as the number 4 seed and move on to the playoffs. And clearly, Booger, I think this is all to the Dave Canales and the Panthers' credit. They arrived a year early, and oh, by the way, by accident, they're in the playoffs. I don't mean by accident, they've earned it.
No doubt. At the beginning of the season, nobody thought that the Carolina Panthers were going to win the South. But they did it, and they're a year ahead of time. And boom, now that they're in, they're going to host a playoff game. A game at home where they've already beaten the Los Angeles Rams at their house once this year already. They're not perfect, but they have a formula that's got them to this point. They can run the football. They got 2 backs, Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle. The offensive line is pretty good. Defensively, they got a really good secondary. It all depends on the young quarterback. Can they create some big plays with Tedorow McMillan down the field? But boom, make no mistake about it. They earned their way into the postseason by how they played this year and the fact that they are way ahead of schedule winning the NFC South.
Congrats to them. And listen, just an aside, because I feel very strongly about it, as you're about to hear. Yeah. A losing record, they should win the division, but they shouldn't have a home game. Baloney. All right, if you win the division, in my opinion, you should host the game as a number 4 seed and keep alive a chance to advance and maybe host a championship game. Because I'll tell you why. If the teams that are 12-5, well, we should be at home instead of 8-9. If you're not good enough to go in there and beat an 8-9 team, you aren't going anywhere anyway. That was the Marshawn Lynch Beastquake game. The Saints were defending champs. It's a game we still talk about. Don't change it. The league is talking about changing it. Don't change it. The Tampa Bay Bucks, they'd like to change. There go the pen. That's what they like to change. They were 6-2.
Yeah.
They ended up 2-7.
Yeah.
Couldn't they go 3-6 and win the division?
They could have, Boomin. And any time you have a team that starts like that and finishes 2-7, there's a lot of factors that are at fault. The special teams were horrible, as we talked about all season long. The quarterback didn't play as well. Defensively, they have no pass rush. But I think there's a bigger picture. Todd Bowles. I don't think he's going to get fired. I think the Glazer family is going to stick with him. But they're going to have to make changes both on the staff and in personnel. I just think that they got to get better pressure on the quarterback to alleviate some of the pressure on the secondary, and the quarterback's got to be more consistent and healthy. You never know how that's going to play out, but overall, I do think that they have to figure out some consistency on defense.
Yeah, and there's some big-name players that we don't know where they're going to be, and the special teams, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
But there's no one to blame but themselves. Halfway through, they looked like Super Bowl contenders.
6-2, that's what we thought.
Carolina, good luck. Meanwhile, in the AFC South, 2 of the hottest teams in football, the Texans, if they win and Jacksonville loses their game, well, then the Texans can repeat. Phillip Rivers on the sidelines watching, well, one of his proteges, really, from high school, from hometown Riley Leonard start. And the Colts, Riley Leonard to Alec Pierce, 66 yards. You want to see a wonderful moment? Yes, they score. And, Dad, in the stands, my first NFL touchdown.
That's what it's all about, Boom.
That's just 7-3. But look at Rigoberto Sanchez with a fake punt to Mo Alley Cox. Hey, they're showing Phillip Rivers new tricks. 10-6 Colts. C.J. Stroud started it. Plenty of time. Jaden Higgins, nice play. Texans lead 13-10 at home. Remember, they don't want to know how Jacksonville is doing. They don't want to know. Leonard trying to show and throw it away. And if they had the tuck rule, maybe it would have been okay. But Henry, Toa picks it up, tackled at the 2.
And that's the thing that the Houston Texans hang their hat on, Boom. Pass rush, and more pass rush.
First play following the fumble all the way to the 2. It's Stroud. The Texans lead 20-10. Remember, they got to win. And, of course, if they win, they will be no worse than the 5 seed. That's going on as well. They still hope to win the division. Third quarter, 23-17. Colts making it a game. Leonard to Pierce. Nice. 53 yards. How about that? Next play. Leonard. I'll take it myself. Nice move. And how do you think the family's doing? Watch this.
You got to love that. How about the athleticism by the kid, though?
Absolutely. So it's 30-29 Indianapolis. Davis Mills, who was 3-0 as a starter this year, including an unbelievable comeback against Jacksonville, which is coming into play as we speak, to Xavier Hutchinson. Mills, General Mills, to Jalen Noel, 13 yards. General Mills, fill up the cereal bowl, give it to Kaimi Fairburn for a 43-yard field goal. This is an entertaining game. Texans lead it 32-30. 5 seconds to go. You know what the Colts have to try. Well, it's a miracle, but let's do it. Whoop! And then let me lateral it back. Whoop! And then let me keep it lateraling, and then whoop! And then, oh no, the big fella, Tommy Togiai. We got a lot of toes on the field today. Podiatrist special, and it's a touchdown for D'Amico Ryans and company. They win 38-30.
You know, Boom, I love when the big fellas get touchdown, especially when it's a swoop and score.
Very nice play. The Texans had their hands full, but boy, they keep on rolling. Now, they know they're at worst at 5. Can they win the division? Well, Liam Cohn, what a job year 1 in Jacksonville on Florida's first coast. Trevor Lawrence hosting the Titans. Now, Tennessee, for a team that won 3 games, that's Cam Ward. He got hurt on the play, but they had a lot of first-quarter scores this year.
And no doubt, Cam Ward, successful rookie season. Hope that he's okay, but the Titans have found their quarterback of the future.
Well, so he couldn't resume at 7-0 Tennessee, but early first, this is how it's looked for the Jags for 2 months. Trevor Lawrence to our first president, Parker Washington. Oh, that's right down the middle of the fairway. You know that Jacksonville is like a single-digit handicap golfer?
Yeah, I like it.
Maybe they all know that. They'll all get together maybe in May. Well, Brenton, people are strange with the end zone for TD. Then 14-7. Brandon Allen is in Tennessee. Uh-oh. This is what the Jags do. They force the second most turnovers going into Week 18 compared to the Bears. Antonio Johnson, touchdown. 22 picks, Jags.
No doubt. As long as they get those turnovers, Boom, dangerous team in the postseason.
21-7, 2 minutes to go before the half. Lawrence, Quentin Morris, the route is on. Lawrence, 38 passing and rushing touchdowns this year, 28-7. And then 67 yards at the end of the half, Cam Little. What do you mean it's not a record? Oh, yeah, he kicked a 68-yarder earlier this year.
Here's the thing I love, Boom. How about this? He aimed at the right upright and said, you know what? I'm taking the right side out of play with a little draw, and then tapped his chest. Yeah, I'm that good.
You know what? They're all golfers down there. Florida's first coast. And so the Jacksonville Jaguars, they have won 8 in a row. They win the division, supplanting Houston with a 13-4 record. And Trevor Lawrence, you don't think the Jags are having fun? Diamond Grill's locker room was a blast.
I got a grill, so I didn't wear it up here, but yeah. There's some like pictures going around for the last month or so with me, like AI picture with a grill on, and so it's pretty funny. And then people have been asking me when I'm going to get one. I'm like, don't plan on getting one, but they got me one. So I think there was some guys from the team, and then some. I think somehow my wife might have been involved in that, getting my teeth measurements or something because it fit. So something's going on there, but pretty funny. It's just been awesome this year with the team and just how close we are. I think that's really a fun part of it.
Very inside information. Teeth size. I don't know
I don't even know where they got that from.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, no question.
Hey, look, what's going on in Jacksonville? We've told you the defensive stats.
Yeah.
But Trevor Lawrence, yet another year of a new offensive system, but it has unleashed him. Again, maybe experience in the league some. He's playing with, okay, my read isn't necessarily there. Don't necessarily take off out of fear. Maybe you can take, I don't know, he's playing like the guy that was drafted #1 overall a few years ago from Clemson.
Boom, sometimes you go to these escape rooms, and inside the escape room, there's only one way. It looks like there's a number of ways, but there's only one way to get out. And when you find that way out, you're like, oh, how come I didn't get here sooner? It looks like Trevor Lawrence has found his way out, and that way is Liam Cohen. Because Liam, he's shown so much promise. But for the first time now, to me, he's playing faster. He's playing free. Liam Cohen has given him the opportunity to show the generational talent that we all thought he had when he came out of Clemson. They can run the football. The defense is really good. But don't tell me coaching doesn't matter, because here's a kid that was kind of on the fence whether or not he was a franchise quarterback.
Right.
Now you bring in the right coach. Not only are we not saying that he's not a franchise quarterback, we're talking about how far they can go in the postseason because of the quarterback. To me, that's special. He's had a really good season, and now he gets an opportunity in the tournament to see what he's made of.
Well, I'll expand a little on it, that you're saying the first read isn't there. He's not hyperventilating.
Yes.
Right? He's playing with confidence.
Yes.
I don't mean cockiness in a bad way, but I got to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're seeing the results. Meanwhile, Houston, they've won 9 in a row. Talk about 2 teams flying into the playoffs. It would be these AFC South teams in a wide open AFC, and we'll do a larger picture in a minute. Their defense speaks for itself. Stroud has played playoff games, so he's played better year 3 than year 1, than last year, I should say.
Yes.
But that defense is portable, and even though they're a 5 seed, they don't worry about playing in bad weather, I wouldn't think.
They don't. They have one thing that travels and it can go anywhere. It doesn't matter the weather. And that's the defense. They can rush the passer. The key for them will be how much pressure can they get off the quarterback's shoulders, because he's got to do a lot right now because they can't run the football. The defense is going to keep him in every game. But being in the game is not just enough. Can they win these games? It's going to come down to the quarterback and his play.
Well, it came down to the last game of the year. Would we see an NFL record, a sack record of 23 by Myles Garrett of Cleveland? Pittsburgh shut him out last week before, and it's another division foe, Joe Burrow. They certainly know, the Bengals, what Myles Garrett's capable of. He almost got a sack there, couldn't quite do it. We're under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. They're trying to win the game. So
it's just unbelievable effort, though, to start chasing in the first quarter throughout the game.
Now, under 6 minutes to go in the game. Is it going to happen? I mean, Strahan, 22 and a half. T.J. Watt, 22 and a half, and Burrow. He spun down. There's the sack. There's the record.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't the greatest effort by Burrow, but what about the get off from Myles Garrett, though? Unbelievable edge, turn the corner, and then the family.
Dad, everybody in the city. Why not? And they carry him. I mean, that's a great. By the way, you need a few guys to lift them up.
It's 270. You need a lot of guys.
By the way, Burrow says that's great. There's a sack record. We want to win. To Jamar Chase, to touchdown, 4 yards. Bengals up by 1, don't get 2, so it's 18-17. Shadur Sanders. We want to win the game. We beat Pittsburgh last week. He hits Jerry Jeudy for 11 yards. All rise. 3 seconds to go. Andre Schmidt. No, Schmidt. He makes the kick. Cleveland. Break up the Browns. I don't know where it's going to go for Kevin Stefanski, but he's at the top of everyone's list. If the Browns foolishly decide that they need a change there, Myles Garrett, congratulations to you. And the Browns close out by beating Pittsburgh and beating the Cincinnati Bengals. And just in case you're scoring at home, there it is. Congratulations to Myles Garrett, beating the record of T.J. Watt Steelers. And, of course, Oliver Michael Strahan, Hall of Fame, 22.5 New York Football Giants. Here's the new record holder.
I think I said it earlier, but I had a dream and I didn't get it. So I was like, we gotta deny fate, whatever it is. We gotta make it happen. Find your dreams come true. I mean, been waiting on my whole life, my whole football career. So I knew I had it in me, and damn, I wanted that 25. But they made it real difficult these last 2 games, especially. But really these last 3. So. That'll be the next journey. They're trying to go out there and get 25.
I mean, I'm going to say the obvious here. It's not amazing that a guy that used to hit 18 homers now hits 65, in Myles Garrett's case. He does this every year. Congratulations.
Without a doubt. 7 straight years, double-digit sacks. 5 out of 6 years, first-team All-Pro. And he doesn't get hurt. He plays every game. He won Defensive Player of the Year 2 years ago. He's going to win it again this year. So that's 2 out of 3 years. He's getting better. I don't think he's reached his ceiling yet, Boom. And right now, if he stopped playing today, he's a Hall of Famer. He has an opportunity to be the greatest defensive player the game has ever seen. And that's up there with Reggie White, Lawrence Taylor, some of the greatest game changers we've ever seen, because he plays an impact position and he's getting better and better and better every year. He talk about, can I get to 25? It's doable. He's getting better, Boom. He's 6'5", 270. He's got less body fat than I'd ever dreamed of having. And his ability to rush the passer has gotten better and better. There's not enough superlatives that I can use about this young man. I think he's the best defensive player in our game, and he's only getting better.
Did you hear what everybody in the division just said when you said he could retire now? Really? Like he's going to retire? And here's the thing, Cleveland's always behind. He has so many less pass rushing opportunities than a team that's up by 10, 14, or 17.
Imagine if he gets a consistent quarterback and consistent offensive play where he can be the closer. Right now, he's the hunter. Imagine if he can become the closer, though. That's when I want to see him.
Well, here are a couple teams that know how to close it. In case you missed it, Saturday night it was a defensive clinic for the #1 seed in the NFC and the NFC West Championship. Seahawks at the 49ers. The winner to the spoils, to the bye, etc. Sam Darnold gives it to Zach Charbonnet after a sack on the first series, robbed him of points. Yes, good vintage. Seahawks running the ball. They played the fullback. They played Walker. They played Charbonnet. And now Brock Purdy. They've scored over 40 points the last 2 weeks. Niners, not on this day. 4th and 1. Second quarter, struggling on offense. 10-0 Seattle. Purdy, pocket. And it's not about that they have got 17 different guys that have at least a sack. 10-3 half Seattle. Then Seattle's defense comes up big. Boye Mafe tipped the ball to put it behind McCaffrey. Drake Thomas, another name you don't know. But they all play amazing defense.
Without a doubt, Boom. Defend every blade of grass you can, and Seattle's defense does that with the best of them.
Well, they call themselves the dark side. That's what they want to be known, the defense. I don't think anybody is arguing. This, Mike McDonald's crew put on a defensive clinic. More on that in a moment. And the Niners, so close to not having to pack their bags ever for the rest of the year, now go on the road. Meanwhile, Rams, could they be the 5? This is, team is good, if not better than anybody, playing the Cardinals, who were once 2-0, but that's a long time ago. Trey McBride setting records and hurdling records for the tight end. What athleticism. We've seen it all year.
Simply put, on a year where Travis Kelce may retire, Trey McBride is now the best tight end in football.
I set records for receiving in 1 year for a tight end. So, under a minute to go in the half, a tie game. Stafford to Puka, Nacua, and Puka Shell. Every week we get one.
And Boom, it's amazing, his hand-eye coordination and body control. And he's not the biggest guy, but he does this every single week.
Amazing. He's unreal. Coach McVay certainly knows that. 66 Rams that they have. But Matt Hawk, this was the day. Why not empty the garage? We saw the Colts do it. The lob for Amari DiMercado. That's the one that you had in the books all year, right? 28 yards. Cardinals, here they come. Jacoby Brissett has played well with tough situations. Michael Wilson has come on.
Yeah, he's playing really well, especially since Marvin Harrison Jr. is out.
Yep, 43-yard touchdown. Then Brissett to Guara. Hosea DeGuara. The toe drag. Told you it was a podiatrist day.
Had a lot of toes in this show.
Rams down 2016.
Yeah.
Really? You're going to go be the 6th seed after all this? Matthew Stafford said, that'll be enough, thank you. I'm Colby Parkinson. 421 career touchdown passes Stafford, passing a guy named Dan Marino. Remember him?
It's either going to be Stafford or Drake May for the MVP. Yes, I remember Dan Marino. Outstanding job getting the tight ends involved.
23-20. They love using the tight ends. And Stafford said, did I say you love using the tight ends? Here's Tyler Higbee, Eleanor Higbee. He reaches in for the touchdown. Stafford with 259, another day of 4 touchdown passes.
Without a doubt, and another opportunity where they run play action off the tight end, getting Higbee involved.
And the kid, there's the family. That's awesome.
The 4 girls. Talk about being a girl, Dad.
Oh, how great is this? And how great a season has he had, which, of course, is now going into the real season. We talk about it all in a minute. The Rams win after trailing in the third quarter, 37-20. Now, all this other bearings, well, this one not in particular. The Packers are 7 no matter what. The Vikings are trying to end with a winning record and a 5-game winning streak. Vikings, Packers, J.J. McCarthy. Vikings up 3-0 to Justin Jefferson. Joins only Mike Evans, Randy Moss. First 6 straight seasons over 1,000 yards receiving. C.J. Green Eggs and Ham. It's a kid's story. Into the end zone. Vikings lead 13-0 right before the end of the half. Third quarter. Quick throw to Jefferson by McCarthy, but he aggravates the hand injury.
Yeah, and he took his own self out. Not a good look. Hopefully he can have a season next year where he gets healthier. Has missed a lot of football in his career so far.
Availability, 2 years.
Exactly.
Let's see what year 3 does. Chris Brooks, handoff, 4-yard gain. And here's Harrison Smith. Is this the last game for him? Probably so. Viking fans, just in case, want to let him know what a tremendous pro he's been.
Been a great Viking, an opportunity to be a Hall of Fame player. He definitely left his impact in Minnesota.
And Kevin O'Connell, team was out of it. Guess what? We're going to win 5 out the door. Kudos to you guys and the Pack go into it. They played Clayton Tune today. Clayton named that tune. Well, the tune didn't sound great. Not his fault. 16-3, they lost. All right. Now, Commanders, Eagles. The Eagles starting McKee. Commanders starting Josh Johnson for his 8,000th team. And not to knock him because, he's still in the league. But meanwhile, this is McKee to the Slim Reaper, and he passed 1,000 yards receiving. So he was playing. McKee to Grant Calcaterra. I think that was the Sandpipers that sang that song. I'm reaching way back. 15 yards, Eagles lead 7-0. Could they pass the Bears and move up from the 3 to the 2 seed? Commanders, Jalix Hunt. Hey, it's week 18. We're faking punts. We're having guys with interesting names kick field goal, and we're having Tank Bigsby, Eleanor Bigsby, 2 of them. He's in the end zone, 14-10. Now 17-10 Philly, early 4th. Josh Johnson. It's going to be incomplete, but I could see why that would be a flag.
Yeah, you can't kind of ride the wide receiver out of bounds. Good flag there.
Commanders at the goal line. They take command. That looked nice to John Bates in the end zone, the Bates Motel. There's a vacancy. Of course, it was a horror movie. At any rate, 17 all. Johnson, nowhere to throw. How about him just dashing?
How about Josh Johnson? This is like team number 15, and he's still running around.
I think it's 14, and that's his number. Something like that. At any rate, Josh Johnson, who knew? Dan Quinn gave him a shot. Thanks for being with us. It's a win. We're beating the Eagles at 24-17, and so Philadelphia falls to the 3 seed no matter what the Bears do. Of course, they didn't know this at the time. Early this year when the Bears started 0-2, Ben Johnson played his old team under Dan Campbell, and the Lions clobbered him. Well, things have changed. 6-0 Lions, second quarter. Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, supposed to look like this, right?
Without a doubt.
Well, 30-yard reception in the red zone, and then Goff to staying alive. Jahmyr Gibbs. They still are an offensive juggernaut when it looks like this. 16-0 Lions. But wait a minute. The Bears can't possibly come back in the fourth quarter, can they? I haven't seen it since like a week ago. Caleb to Janae Walker. Touchdown, 16-8. They get 2. Midway fourth, Williams, Colston Loveland. Oh, you love that play. 27 yards. Here come down Bears. Caleb Williams to Loveland. Touchdown. They go for 2. Dan Campbell goes, really? Really? We're tied at 16. Under 3 to go. Goff. Brown. Oh, Johnny. Kevin Byard. I don't have it in front of me, but I believe he will win the interception title. I have to check that because this is all happening while we're on the air. There may be 7 if I'm not mistaken. But that's what the Bears do. They force the most turnovers of anybody.
As we always say, boom, tips and overthrows on defense, we got to get those.
And so, under a minute to go, young Bears fans fired up. Goff, Brown. Wait a minute, the Lions, they want to get the field goal range at 26 yards. And then, Jake Bates. One of the best kickers in football. Down the middle. So the Lions do come back. They sweep the Bears, but Chicago, for a team that started 0-2, they are, because Philly lost, they stay the 2 seed. Of course, they've already clinched their division, the NFC Norris division, and the Lions win that game 19-16. Detroit gets over 500. So here we are. As we do this show, we do not know who's playing who on what day. We don't know, but here are the matchups. Seattle, of course, gets a bye. Packers at Bears, 7-2 for the third time. They split 2 wild games. 49ers at the Eagles, 6-3. They were hoping not to see that, I would think. And 5 Rams at Carolina 4, where they lost just a few weeks ago. As far as 49, at any rate, I'm checking one thing. At any rate, look, here's Seattle with the bye. It's like America just discovered them the last 2 weeks. Give me credit.
No
I've been telling you, Boog, you
been
played for a defense like this.
Yeah.
Nothing exactly the same. Mike McDonald's second-year head coach.
Yeah.
I know he'll say it's the players, and it is. He is the defensive counterpart to 2 of the very best coaches, Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan. And the fact that they toe-to-toe and have won this division and have won it with the authority. They've given up the least points in football, with Houston allowed a lot on this day. I think they're the least, and they've scored the second most of anybody. Nobody knows that. They have players. You can look at the stat sheet, for example, the Leonard Williams. What kind of area? What do you mean he had 1 tackle? He didn't do anything. Baloney. He took up 3 guys in the middle. They're playing defense with a vengeance. Isn't that what you see?
Boom. It's a defense that starts up front. When you talk about Lawrence and Leonard Williams, they got corners on the outside with Witherspoon and Woolen. They got players everywhere from a defensive standpoint. And to your point, they gave up the fewest points in football. Well, guess what, Boom? They also have the biggest point differential in football, also at plus 191. Think about that. They've scored 191 more points than they've given up. On paper, they're the best team in football. The one question mark they have is at the quarterback position. He's turned the football over 20 times. 17 picks, I think, 3 fumbles. They know that. They play around that.
Yep.
And they play with him. They can run the football. They got a 2-headed monster, Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. They have a coach that is, to your point, can match wits with the best offensive minds in the sport. They're the 1 seed for a reason, and they're the team to beat on the NFC side.
Oddly enough, they have a better road record than home, but that is a rough.
His road record is unreal.
On 15-2.
Yeah.
The Seahawks, the 3 years they've made the Super Bowl, they have been the number 1 seed. Again, that's different this year because, look, that whole division, the Rams, I know they're on the road now, but formidable as heck. I would not want to really play Philadelphia because, as we said on the show last week, Booger, I haven't heard a lot from Philly for a few weeks. Let's play some football for 6 weeks. We're defending champs. Maybe it'll work. Yeah, I know there's warts, but Philly, Rams, and Seattle, 3 to the post. The other teams are very capable, starting with San Francisco. But do you see those 3, at least as we start the playoffs in the NFC or wherever it matches up, do you see them ahead of the other 4? I do.
Philly, Rams, Seattle, they can beat you in a number of ways. They can beat you with the quarterbacks pushing the football down the field. Defensively, they can have one of those games where they just shut you out. They can run the football. Both of them have quarterbacks that can make plays. And so I look at teams, once the tournament starts, once we get into the dance, how many different dances can you do? All right, I like the 2 steps, the fox, the waltz. I like them all, Boom. You got to be able to do a lot of different dances. And the 3 teams you mentioned, they can do a multitude of dances, which gives them a lot of different ways they can win.
But here are the Chicago Bears going, what about us? We were 0-2, and now look at us. We're not scared of the 4th quarter.
No.
And San Francisco, they've scored a lot of – I mean, the NFC loaded. Fascinating as heck. Now, AFC, in case you hadn't heard, number 429 and final game at the Ralph was Rich Stadium, was Ralph Wilson Stadium. You can go on to Highmark now. It's the Empire State Building in Buffalo. This is outside the big tree, the pub that everybody goes to before the game. There's Josh is going to start. He's going to have 1 play. He's going to give it to Cook, who ran for 15 yards. Will that be enough to get the rushing title unless Derrick Henry goes off? It will. And so Josh keeps that streak going, but it was more Mitch Trubisky at quarterback against the Jets. And they're the Jets. And that's Dawson Knox, and he's open by 20 yards. Wow. 7-0 Buffalo. This was a party. Nobody left the stadium, even with 1 minute to go in a blowout. Ty Johnson, they're the Jets. 14-0. By the way, well, we'll give you an amazing stat on the Jets in a minute, which, look, I grew up at Shea Stadium. I went to the last game there, too, but we digress. Mitch Trubisky to Ray Davis. Touchdown. As he tackled, didn't hit the ground, they said, That's an interesting call.
He landed on the linebacker, and the linebacker carried him in, then wasn't down. That's a touchdown.
21-0. I mean, the Jets are going to get routed again. Trubisky looking for Gabe. Almost picked up by Quincy Williams. It hit him in the hands. It would have been their only interception of the year. It's impossible.
He's got like a club on that hand. I give him a little.
No, I'm not giving him, but I mean, you cannot. It's impossible to not have an interception off a doink or something all year. But that's what the Jets accomplished this year. Trubisky to Davis, they go for 2, 29-0. And then Trubisky, they're having a blast, right? Fans having a blast. They shoveled the place a day or two ago. The Jets did score at the end. 35-8 as the Buffalo Bills have ended an era. They'll move across the street in a stadium that will allow for snow, but they're going to take care of the wind and cover the fans. But it's still going to be outdoors in Buffalo in December and January. And
I got to see how they do all that, too.
They're doing it.
I need to see
I've been assured they're doing it. And you know I have a direct line.
I understand that.
And it's 35-8, the Bills. More on this in a moment. Meanwhile, so the Bills trying to improve maybe. You know, they can't win the division because Mike Vrabel's Patriots lost to the Raiders week 1, lost to the Steelers in September, and since then it's been, other than the loss to the Bills, it's been all New England. Remember Ramondre Stevenson, 56-yard run Miami in the cold. Forget it. Forget it. Trayvon Henderson. He's what a second-round draft pick he is.
Home run hitting speed at the running back position. Nice 1-2 punch.
Great drafting. Elliott Wolf and company. Tackled to first round. Henderson. This is Stevenson. Direct snap. 17-10 Patriots at the half, but then Quinn Ewers. Don't know if it was this cold in Texas. Theo Weiss Jr. No, Jalen Hawkins with the pick. Patriots get the ball back. Fans having a good time. Drake May to Stevenson. They're all open.
Wide open.
It's 24-10. Late third. Stevenson. Yeah, well, you get the picture, right? That's a 35-yard touchdown run. Stevenson with 3 on the day. Patriots shake, rattle, and roll. He had 131 yards. And so the Patriots clinched the number 2 seed by blowing out Miami 38-10. Broncos, can they be the 1 seed? Can they clinch it all? They're home against the Chargers, who Justin Herbert needed a break. A lot of their big players not playing, although you know that Jim Harbaugh's team's going to play tough. Trey Lance is starting. Underneath, can't make the catch. Jaquan McMillan. And that's what Denver does, right? 45-yard return on a pick six, 10-0. Late, last seconds of the first half, Riley Moss almost got it.
He's going to get a lot of opportunities opposite Pat Surtain.
Yeah, a few minutes left in the third quarter. Bo Nix. Evan Engram, he's wide open. Week 18, a lot of guys wide open.
Let's not cover the tight end this week.
13-3. They kick a field goal. Lance to Allen. Keenan Allen at the sticks. He makes a big bonus. Incentives.
Ain't no money boom like new money.
Well, hey, look, he should. He came back to play with the Chargers here at the end. Meanwhile, Nick Benito said that's nice. Blindside strip. Tavon Jones, Denver defense calling card. They're trying to they lead the league in sacks. 14 for Benito. Lance with a swing to Kamani Vidal. He's a PTPer, but Patrick Surtain is there behind the line to stop him. Denver wins 19-3. Sean No for offense, but they don't have to apologize to his soul. The Denver Broncos are number 1. They have a week off. You got to come to Mile High to beat them, and they're 14-3. So again, we don't know who's playing what day, etc. Broncos with 5. 7 Chargers at 2 Patriots. Interesting. 6 Bills at 3 Jaguars. Josh Allen on Florida's first coast. Really fun game, I think. 5 Texans at the winner of tonight's game. As we do the show, it hasn't even started. Steelers or Ravens will win the division. And a record won't be as good as these teams, but again, you win the division, you will be at home, either Aaron Rodgers or Lamar Jackson hosting a game. All right, so the Denver Broncos, number one, we don't mean to throw water on them at all. When you win 14 games, you apologize to nobody. You have a defense that can be suffocating. You have a quarterback that's won games late and you're at mile high. Are they the huge favorites in the AFC or just slight because they're home and don't have to go on the road?
Boom, their calling card is their defense. You know, for so long on this side of the ledger in the AFC, we talked about the quarterbacks, you know, Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Lamar Jackson may still get in. This year, we're not talking about that. We're talking about teams that have young QBs, but their defense is really good, especially when you start talking about Denver and New England. Can the young quarterbacks make enough plays? Let's talk about Denver specifically. Bo Nix. Is Sean Payton going to take the shackles off at some point? They haven't needed them much. They got this young kid from UCF that's their starting running back now since Dobbins got hurt. Running the ball could be an issue. How willing is Sean Payton to put the game in Bo Nix's hands with the defense that he's got? They're the number one seed, and they earned it. Take nothing away from them. But at some point, they got to open the offense up.
You know what's interesting? You brought up the quarterback's book, to your point, and we talked about it before. The AFC, 3 different categories, all right? We're just listing in order of the seeds, the quarterbacks. Bo Nix, second year. Had a playoff game last year. They lost to Buffalo. Where does he go with it? Drake May. Certainly in the MVP conversation as well. He should. Unbelievable year. New England, second year. What does he do? But then there are the 2 in the middle, Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert. We've been there 5 or 6 years. We know they're good. They've seen a lot. Maybe this is their time. And C.J. Stroud, I'm going to put since his 3rd year with the younger. And then you have Josh Allen, who, of course, with all his pelts, and Lamar and Aaron, the winner of that. So that's the, I don't want to say seniors, they're the ones with the accomplishment with the resumes. So you got a couple with amazing resumes. You got a couple who've been waiting in the wings with Herbert and Lawrence. And then we have the 3 youngsters. I find it fascinating.
I just thought about this, and I'm going to give a shout out to your old partner, whose seat I sit in now, Tom Jackson. When you talk about Josh Allen, if not now, when? There's no Mahomes. There's no Burrow. We don't know if Lamar's getting in. Josh, if not now, when? At some point, he's got to. If we're going to call him the best quarterback in the game, the most talented guy, he's got to at least get his team to a Super Bowl. And there's no Mahomes in the way. And for years, that's been the roadblock. If not now, when?
And we will expand on this in the re-air version of Primetime. So don't think this is the end of our playoff discussion, but we have more games to show you. So, G-Men, you know, they won last week. This is fun. We lost 9 in a row. I mean, we can win, and we never beat Dallas. We're sick of it. Jackson Dart to Daniel Bellinger. I don't know where the baseball Bellinger's playing, but the football player is playing for the New York G-Men. The Giants lead 16-10. Dart, pocket. That's nice. Tyrone Tracy, 22-10 Giants.
Dart has really come on this year, especially when he stays on the field.
2-point conversion, tricky Giants. Devin Singletary. Woo! Darius Slayton, everybody's emptying the garage. 24-10 Giants. Now 27-17. Joe Milton is in for Dak. Uh-oh. Well, carrot cake. You know what? Carrot cake for everybody. The Giants, who they never beat Dallas. Well, they thundered them on this day. 34-17. But our understanding is they still get the 2nd pick, right? The 5th pick. Never mind. I lied. Oh, so that's right. They won 2 games.
Yes, they got hot.
This is the danger. At any rate, the Chiefs began in Brazil as defending AFC champs. Travis Kelce, just the last time we'll ever see. We don't know. On the football field, of course. Shane Buechele came on in relief with a lot of con. And they're playing in Vegas, so this is Travis Kelce passing Terrell Owens for 8th all-time in receiving, and he ends up with 1079 for 13,000 yards. Buechele then sacked by a safety. It's 11-6. Very good blackjack score in Las Vegas. Kickoff. Dylan Lawby fumbles it. Well, when you're
Yeah.
Picking first, this is what you do. And then it's 11-9. Hit me. It's I want a face card. Who's Shell the Hollywood Brown? Then it's 4th and 10.